All right. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm. I was born ready.
Are you?
Always.
Welcome back to So Shameless, everybody. Once again, I just want to thank everybody that's continuously listening in and supporting the show. I have two guests with me this week. First of all, I'd like to say hi.
Sounds so professional.
So
I'm really not like this, right? I don't know how to do it.
You're really
funny.
calm. This is not like you. I'm kind of nervous right now.
Why?
You're just really calm. Like, loosen
This is
up
just
a little
how
bit.
this is literally how I am all the time, except
Oh.
for on Snapchat or whatever, on Twitter. Those are just like characters. In any case, the two voices that you're listening to, obviously you may remember Mandii B
Yes. Hey,
from
guys.
Whoreible Decisions. The self-claim I'm not a hoe when I say it, but she's a hoe when she says it.
Listen, you can't call a woman a hoe.
If you say you're a hoe, I'm calling you by name.
But I don't call myself a hoe.
You do. Your podcast is named Whoreible Decisions, and you call yourself a hoe on the show.
Irony.
All right, so it's ironic that I call you a hoe then. It's ironic.
Okay. Well, I think we have a better guest than myself today, so I
Thank
think
you.
let's go ahead and introduce
We do.
her.
we as in me, as in like the French, like me.
Oh gosh, go ahead.
Thank you so much. And we do have a much better guest. I like that she said that. Thank you, because I don't have to say it. Liris.
Hello.
Liris Crosse.
Yes.
I don't even know where to say where you're from because
Baltimore.
oh, I know that.
I
What
live
I'm
in
saying
Brooklyn
is, they say that you're from Project Runway now. Everybody's saying you're
Oh,
Project
yes.
Runway now. But I know you for years before that. I've known you for, it seems like at least a decade before that.
Yes, I've been modeling for over a decade. Well, hello, So
There we
Shameless.
go.
There we go. That's
There
a lot
you go.
better.
Come on in there. Get in there.
Yay. Look, don't
Put
get
that
all
in.
the way in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
fangirling. I know her from Project Runway
Mm-hmm.
and fell in love with her. And then Fashion Week, I actually saw her at the Michael Costello show,
Thank you.
looking beautiful.
I have no idea who that is.
He's a designer who also got his start on Project Runway.
And now he dresses
yeah.
like Beyonce and everybody.
Now he dresses like Beyonce. Can we
He
talk
dresses
about this?
Beyonce, not dresses like Beyonce.
I'm glad Beyonce came up.
Oh Lord.
Because I have more issues now. I am not a Beyonce hater.
I'm Beehive now.
Good.
Just let you know that. This
Good.
is Liris. Yeah.
So then I want to understand something. If you guys saw the Rock Nation, they had their brunch this weekend.
Yes.
It was a beautiful brunch. Everybody looked amazing, except one person.
Who?
Jay-Z.
I disagree.
I think he had a suit. I think he looked fine.
Jay-Z looked like he was going to close a deal with like some white corporation. He had like a gray suit on. Diddy came in there. He looked amazing. Diddy looked like he was from Harlem. He looked like he was
I thought
from
they all
Harlem.
had suits on.
He looked like he was from Harlem, but just with a lot more money, a lot more mature. I saw T.I. there. T.I. looked like he was from Atlanta, just with more money, more mature, right? Jay-Z don't rep Brooklyn, no, he doesn't. He's always swaggerless. It's like he's always just like, whatever, I'm old and I got money, I don't care.
Well, I don't fuck
and
with
I got to
that.
blame that on Beyonce.
Oh no.
No,
Well,
no.
Beyonce has her own struggles because I think she needs to fire her stylist. But
really?
I think that she
Get
dresses
her.
absolutely trash for the amount of money she has, for who she is. All these like weird Instagram pictures that she takes. I think her stylist is trash. Now I know she fired Ty, who was her stylist for
No,
like
she
10
didn't
years.
fire him.
Well, he no longer styles her, to
Yeah,
my
but that
knowledge.
doesn't mean fire.
Okay, well, let go in a nice way.
Well, I think
Moved
Ty
on?
Ty's been with her for, I think, over a decade.
Yeah.
And sometimes you grow and change and you want to be able to try other ventures. And you have to admit working for Beyonce is all consuming. So,
For sure.
So you don't get to probably pursue as many other things that you would like to do in your off time. So I think it was kind of more of a mutual
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just like
Yeah,
right
they're
now,
still
I feel
good.
like she could dress better. I hate.
I loved how Ty used to Tyler. I got tongue tied there. I love how Ty styled her.
Right.
Yes.
Whoever's styling her now, gotta go.
I
And the
did not
Beehive probably
say
gonna
any
attack
of
me.
this. I love Beyonce. All I'm saying,
I love the dress she had on.
Right. I love the-
yesterday.
Oh, yesterday was not, those
Both
slits.
dresses,
Those
yes.
slits.
I personally believe that it is Beyonce's responsibility to make sure that Hove looks good all the time. That's her husband. You can't just come out looking just to your own brunch. And she's out here looking marvelous. I liked her dress last night. I mean, I'm not a dress connoisseur, but I can see somebody when I know they stunt. She looked good. Hove just looked like he was coming from a meeting. Everybody else looked brunch fantastic, brunch spectacular.
Liris over there looking at pictures now.
I mean, I
think he looks fine. I think he looks fine.
Well, it looks like he was actually coming from maybe speaking with Van Jones, maybe? I don't know. It looks similar.
Yeah, I don't know when that was recorded, but that's a possibility.
Yeah, it does almost look like he went from there to the brunch.
And that's my thing. Come on now, Hove. You should have a dressing room in your limo or with Maybach or whatever the hell you're driving in now. Yeah, like
it's crazy that you're saying this because you be sucking his dick. Well, not literally, but you love.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, you love Jay-Z.
You know
I'm
what?
surprised that this is the conversation.
Not that there's anything wrong with any person out there that's sucking somebody else's dick, but I'm not a dick sucker. All right.
Okay.
I like Hove. I like what he's done. I like the example he portrays. All I want is for him to stop letting Beyonce make him into Beyonce's husband. You're still Jay-Z. You still rap for all these kids out here. You still rap for all of us. Like all of us that just want to just love black. That hat is ridiculous.
He looks fine.
That hat is ridiculous.
He looks like kind of Gatsby-ish.
He looks like he needs to get out. He looks like the dude that got taken over by the white person and get out.
He looks fine.
I think he looks fine.
Especially dressed alongside her.
I think Jay is just at a point now where he's exploring even more with his fashion. He's very, especially if you watch the videos on 444, I think it is.
There you go.
I feel as though he's just in a different place and he doesn't
care
back. What you think.
Come home.
He's going to do and
what
dress and say and conduct himself how he wants to.
I'm good with that.
You should, because I know you don't want anybody telling you. Well, I'm
not a style connoisseur. So everybody could be like, nigga, you got on the do-rag right now. Like, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
You and me are going to have a problem.
I mean, it's fine. But people could also argue, like, your age and you dress very young for your age. Maybe this is Jay dressing his age.
When I dress up, I dress up. I don't have to do that at all times, but in a time which brunch particular, like you know what you're supposed to do. That wasn't a brunch outfit to me. That wasn't stylish. I'm out having fun, enjoying myself. Black excellence. No, that was white excellence. That was Wall Street. Jay doesn't give me Brooklyn on a different plateau.
He didn't want to give you Brooklyn at the brunch.
Why not?
Because he wanted to give you that. I am the boss of this. This is the Rock Nation brunch.
This is my brunch.
I am exactly. This is my brunch. Welcome to my place, my way, how I do things.
You know, I can't argue with Liris because
but you can argue with me. Oh,
she did win the model portion of Project Runway this season, along with was there one or two other?
Jasmine.
Yes,
she's also with my agency, IPM.
And you guys kicked ass, but in a different way this year.
Yes.
Right? Explain what happened. Like this is a whole new thing that you guys got going on now.
Yes, this was the very first season that Project Runway had plus size models in the week-to-week competitions for the designers. Before, it has always been models size 2 to 6. And they had models up to a size 22, and that's more like according to your measurements. They also had like a real person challenge where they had a woman, she wears a size 22, where they had to make a design for her. I wear a 14, sometimes a 16 if you catch me in the winter, because, you know, I'm a real woman and we fluctuate, we eat. Sometimes we work out, sometimes we don't. So that's life. And
I don't see that. Like you look amazing.
Thank you. But guess what?
Am I saying that people that's 22 don't look amazing?
You can be plus size and look amazing. So
at what point did you start calling yourself a plus size model? Because you weren't always.
This is the thing. When I first started out modeling, when I first wanted to get into it, I was like a size 6'8", and they wanted me to lose weight. So I tried to lose weight, and even less agencies called me back because I still wasn't below. Because really, when they say they want you to be a 6, they really want you to be a 2'4". But as my shirt says, naturally curvy, or curvy by nature. That's just who I am and how I'm built. And I tried to lose the weight. It didn't happen. So I ended up signing with, at the beginning of my career, Wilhelmina Models. And they had a board called 1020, which was sizes 10 to 20. And at this time, I had graduated high school, moved to New York, and I was wearing about a size 8'10". So they signed me, and thus began my career. I'm now with IPM and Dorothy Combs Models. But I had to call myself a plus model at a size 8'10". Yeah.
Now,
even though I wasn't shopping at like plus
Lane
size
Bryant
stores,
or
Lane Bryant,
right.
Ashley Stewart, although I do now, and I have no problem with that.
excuse me.
But in the people fail to realize in the fashion world, plus starts at like a size 8. It's a warped sense of thinking, but nothing is really common or always makes sense in fashion. Some things are a bit out of the box. But now that's actually called the in-betweenies. If you're like a size 8 to like a 8'10", or a full size 6, you're considered an in-betweenie. And then models size 12 and up are plus size.
I feel like when I think of model, right, traditionally, when I think of model,
Yeah, because this is way different from the modeling I was doing.
skinniest, yeah, well, we'll talk about that. The skinniest woman ever. I mean, some of them have breasts, but most of them are very boyish bodies, very little boy body women. When did this plus size thing even become a thing? Like when you signed with this agency where you called yourself a full body model, right? And there's a whole reason why you guys are here as it relates to me and as it relates to So Shameless. But let's get this out the way first. When you signed to this agency where it was like full figure models, what was the business like? What did you do?
The business was still pretty new. And like I said, I was coming straight out of high school. I didn't know plus modeling existed. I just grew up watching Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista. And those are like the 90s supermodels that I wanted to embody. I always had dreams of I was going to fly to Paris for lunch and come back, you know. But once I remember when I got sent over to meet with the people at Wilhelmina, the lady said to me from Model Search America, Leah McCloskey, God bless her soul. Got to do lunch with her soon. Anyway, she said, I'm going to send you to an agency that has women that look like you. And I said, okay, whatever that means.
Black
women. Look, I'm just like, if it's going to allow me to model, great, whatever.
Right.
So I get there and I just saw beautiful models who just had more meat on their bones. So I was like, oh, okay, well, and it's at Wilhelmina. I'll take it. Sign me up.
Oh, wait,
and
so it's a different section of Wilhelmina?
It's a different section of the board, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But now there are just, like, IPM just only handles plus-size models. Or certain agencies, if they've already been around, they just have a plus-size board.
Okay.
Just kind of like when you go to the store and you're looking for, you know, normal or straight size clothes, or you're looking for the plus size area.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same way within the modeling agencies. Yeah.
You waiting, right? I know you're waiting because I'm coming.
Well, I want to say this early. A lot of people, they'll look at me and be like, but you're so pretty. You just don't seem plus. And I'm like, you do know plus size has varying degrees. Plus size does not just mean Aunt Jemima. It does not mean just my 600-pound life. It does not just mean morbidly obese. It doesn't just mean hourglass. It doesn't just mean pear shape. It doesn't just mean, full through the middle area.
Right.
Plus size has so many different varying degrees. And that's why I think we have to change the public's view of what they think plus size is, because they'll look at me, well, she ain't really plus size. I'm like, well, come shopping with me. Right. I bet you'll see a big difference from when I go to, I mean, even if it's someplace like a H&M or for, you know, you can go to Forever 21.
Those jeans if they, and all that. Yeah, forget about it. Like, what? And then they put these sizes on it. Like, you can go to H&M or Forever 21 and they'll have a size 12. That size 12 is really like a size 6 or 10. Like,
because it's European cut.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Well, they're not made for women with y'all features.
Right.
It's European cut. They're European brands.
When I know a lot of guys would be like, oh, the girl that I want to date, she got to be like 140, 150.
Most of them don't even know.
No, they don't even. And weight, weight looks so different on so many women.
Yeah.
Especially like, so I have a ton of friends and we talk about weight all the time. Like, you know, women wanting to, and I'm friends with a lot of women who have had surgery and want to just look different ways. And it's so crazy because we could all be the same weight and look completely different. So weight is just carried in women differently by their breast size, by their thigh size. Like, and breasts hold a lot. Like, so I'm a triple D. I'm a 36 triple D. And there's a lot with that. And so someone could be my size, but then you also have to look at height.
I don't understand.
I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1". Me and her could be pretty much the same size and she looks way slimmer than me because she's much taller than me. So,
well, that's the same thing in men.
Right. So when men sit here and say, I want a woman who's 140 or 150, you already know. Men, and I see this often, and so I know it hasn't gotten to this conversation yet, but I know I wanted to have this conversation specifically with you. Because for a lot of the listeners, I am a fan of So Shameless. And when you had Cuddy on the show, the things that you would say about women of size or with curves was just very, I mean, we already have to deal with backlash from magazines, from women, from shopping. There's already an insecurity thrown in our face. And to hear men talk about our sizes and stuff the way you did at one point as a friend was disgusting.
I'm not.
Carpool.
Okay. No, for one, let me tell you something. And this is not going to defend any of that because I've had some revelations since.
You have.
Everybody in this world is entitled to their preferences. Everybody. Women, men, children, dogs, cats. Everything is entitled to their preferences. If I say I don't like bigger women for me, I'm not trying to shoot nobody down. That's just me. Who the fuck am I? Look how skinny I am, right? I lost mad weight. I was a bigger dude. I know chicks that would have dated me then that look at me now. I was like, yo, you fell off like crazy. What I'm going to do with you? You're not going to bust my ass the way you used to bust my ass. I don't want that.
But there's also a difference between having a preference and completely talking down on an entire group of people.
You know what y'all be doing to niggas' hairlines? Do y'all know how many men? It is. A man can't control his hairline.
That's not correct.
Excuse me. Don't touch my do-rag. There's a reason for this. No.
But you're also aged.
And
so that
now
comes
you're
with
age shaming.
I'm not age
Or is that what we're doing now? Listen.
No, but wait a minute. Men age shame us all the time.
All the time.
Women do change as they get older. There's
but men do too, and you guys fail to realize that.
I'm sorry.
I think the common complaint is that we don't.
The things that you guys judge
the
about
young girls
women
are lying to you.
So I'm gonna bring this into pop culture real quick. I don't know. Are you guys watching Love and Hip Hop Miami?
No.
Here and there. I don't know what has happened, but the Pretty Rookie guys and a couple of the other guys on there, they look like they've been through some shit. And they're sitting there and they're talking about Shay and all these women. And it's like, as women, we can't acknowledge that y'all fell off. Y'all will be quick to tell a woman she fell off.
I have something. I remember I was in Chicago hanging with some friends. And a friend of mine picked up this guy. We all go to the club. And as we're leaving the club and we're, talking on the way back, he's like, man, it wasn't nothing but a whole bunch of fat chicks up in there. I was just over it. And I turn back and I look at him and I'm like, he's sitting about a good 350. Oh, and I'm like,
yep.
But you're fat.
What was his response to that? Look at your face. You're so serious. You're so serious.
Literally, I just turned around and he was like, what? And I was like, I just stared. And I think he just got the memo. Like, who are you to degrade? For me, it just showed the insecurity in who he is. But also, it shows me how men feel as though I can have a little money or have a little status or the fact that I'm just a man. So what if I gain weight? You should just deal. You should just be happy.
Because you know what a man does?
Say nothing about me.
What
They call it a get money belly, or they've been eating.
Well, men aren't. People don't look at men necessarily.
You don't
as
think
like
we
sex
look at men
objects.
as sex?
Women
We do. We want a
represent
good-looking
sex.
man.
Women represent
Now you're
good
objectifying
looks.
women is what you're doing.
Okay.
Which
And
is the problem.
we can't say that women look good
Which
or women
is the
give off
problem.
sex. Or
No,
we
because-
can't say that.
because-
Like how's the fuck up? Woman, like, yo, stop this bullshit. Everything Me Too. Everything is like everything is offensive
go.
in this fucking world. Everything. Come on, y'all. When the fuck is we just gonna be regular
you can
people?
say-
When are we gonna be able to just be ourselves without worrying about everything offending fucking somebody? All I said is women are more sexy to the world than men. You're
Men
objectifying
are
women.
sexy. You are.
Personally,
You are.
I don't have a problem with him saying that about women, but I think what's missing is a lot of times women haven't been able to express that we look at you all the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So when you gain weight or lose weight, when you get a haircut or don't get a haircut, when you're starting to bald or not, when you're 2 minutes rather than when you used to be a half an hour, like
we judge the same way.
We are judging the same way. A lot of times we've been nicer and kinder where we haven't said, oh no, but baby, you're still sexy.
You still sexy.
Oh baby, it's still good to me. Oh yeah,
we're more empathetic with your feelings, and I feel like men are not that way with
By
women.
me saying that y'all look better than us,
or you say no. We're not even talking about the good looking part. We're talking about the men. You don't put on some weight, or man, you don't look. Or saying a female fell off, or stuff like that.
I remember when my ex was getting dressed one day. She had something on that I didn't think would have been the best thing for us to go out in that day. And I tried my best to tell her that. She had attitude. She could start crying. And she's like, you're not supposed to tell me that.
How did you say it, Tahoe?
I just said maybe not that dress today.
And when she said why, what did you say back?
Did she ask you why?
She had put on a few pounds. And she was still the most
why?
amazing woman. I don't know if I offered it up front as to why or not. She was still the most amazing looking woman to meet, first of all, that I've ever dated physically, at least, and beyond. But she was also, she shut down every room, anywhere she went. So me telling her, like, maybe not this one today, or yo, let's go work out. Like, every time I said something like that, she was super offended and super hurt. Like, there's not a loving way to say that shit, and you can't be offended. Is y'all gonna get offended?
It is very hard to talk about weight, even within the plus size fashion or just the plus size community. Weight is in diets or whatever change of how you want to manage your body.
Right,
is a hard discussion to have. I do say men should be careful, tread lightly when they talk about those things. So I salute you for even trying to say, hey, well, let's go work out together, or let's go for a walk. Like, you have to introduce it in the most inconspicuous. It's like they know what you're trying to say, but if they can feel like you're doing it with love, they can almost appreciate it much better.
Agreed. And I think what you have to realize
even if they are momentarily hurt for a second, okay, but I know he loves me, and that's why he's just like, let's go.
I always call this woman beautiful. It was like literally that I always said it. But let me say anything about weight or healthy or maybe not that, because I only told her that once. Like, she literally could style the fuck out of everybody in this room.
Right.
She knew how to shop and she knew how to dress, and she just was beautiful. So let me say one thing that didn't go your way, and now we're in tears, and I'm offensive. And
but it's one thing from you, which you don't realize, and I brought this up on my show. We had a plus size BBW Dom who came on, Lisa Spliffson, and you may have said it once, but it's something that she could have been hearing for years. Like, so for
from
me,
a parent, from an ex-boyfriend.
even going back to middle school, there were things that skinny girls could wear that once I wore, it sexualized me. I was 12. I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I would wear things, but because I had thicker thighs or wider hips, it was inappropriate for me. But the girl right next to me, who was 110 pounds soaking wet, would be okay wearing it.
What's wrong with that?
But that's what I'm saying. So even with our size, we're told we can't do things because of our size from a young age. This is 10, 11, 12.
Big ass.
Nigga, I was 10.
All right. So your parents or maybe people who care about how you look. Now, I'm just saying from things from society's eyes, right? Maybe people who look at you don't want you to get a certain type of attention and are telling you, yo, that's not right for you. But yes, it might be right for Katie, but for you.
It's because of men. And I know you hate that I say this, but a female of curves automatically looks like fun, automatically looks like sex, automatically looks like I literally had a guy tell me, you're fun, but I wouldn't cuff you. You know why? Because I couldn't bring you to church. Because I couldn't let you.
All right, he's a dickhead.
This is what he said.
But there are dickheads out here.
Yeah, but there's a lot of men that think that way. And so while we have the half of men who are fat shaming us because we're not a size 4 or 6, then we have the other half who just look at us as fun bunnies because we have the ass. We have, some of us with the small waist, the big thighs, and they feel like we draw too much attention to ourselves. We walk into the room and your ass is fat, whether you wear a long dress or not. And you're rolling your eyes, but this is very true.
No, I'm not at you. I'm just saying, you want to understand something? There's mad dickheads out here. There's mad niggas out here that don't get the kind of attention that they want from pretty women. There's mad niggas out here that would do anything that don't have no standard, don't have no class. I would hate for the average woman, to look at themselves and judge themselves based on the attention from those type of niggas because they not really... I'm not accepting a lot of these bozo niggas out here that you look at the way they judge you and you feel a way like, fuck that nigga. You see his shoes? He wears the type of hat Jay-Z have on every fucking day. So don't matter that how many fucking dickheads is out here. It's a lot of dickheads out here.
Right, but you also just said the average woman. In an industry like her, she is the average woman. And she's put into a whole nother category because of her size. And so when they do...
the average woman, what do you mean?
The average size woman is like a 14, 16.
Yes, especially in the United States.
The average.
So even... And before they had the plus size models go on to Project Runway, I've been watching Project Runway for years. They always have where maybe the producers bring in family members or stuff, and even the designers have an issue because these are real women, and not everyone is going to be 6 feet tall, and not everyone's going to wear a size 2 or 4. And so the fact that us as average women get shaded at by men, and then our own females, if we're above their size, you're a fat whale
for regular clothes,
right? And we're the average size.
I don't understand something. And it's going to be an ignorant comment. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Let me take
I was waiting for a few of them to come out of your mouth.
That's fine. All right. Why do women gain weight like that? Like, why do y'all seem to have bigger thighs than us? When y'all get older, it's like harder for y'all to stay in shape. Like me, I'm in my 40s. It seems like women get bigger than men.
Well,
often.
We have hormones.
We don't have hormones?
Yeah, but our hormones, we don't have the same hormones.
We have estrogen, you have testosterone.
Right.
And it's
not
different.
only that, we have babies, we have periods. A lot of times we have another extra kid, which is the husband or boyfriend. We manage a lot.
Yeah.
We manage a lot. And I think...
So I would think that means that y'all work harder.
It's funny, I have a joke where I always say... I like to be the biggest thing in the relationship. So I like to be the thicker one.
Right.
Because I'm like, I have to deal with more. But
it's funny though that you say that because I just don't think overweight men acknowledge that they're fucking overweight. There's a ton of fat niggas out here and they'll shame a bitch for being a little heavy like the guy did in your car. And it's like, not everyone is your size, Tahoe. There's a lot of big men.
Bigger than me.
And I mean, he was a big guy that was like, it wasn't football player big. You know what I mean?
And so yeah, like, I think that you just have to realize our bodies too are just made different. Like because of the female anatomy, we're going to have hips. We're going to have thighs. Those are things that men cannot naturally grow. They have to, like, even when you get into talking about transgenders, when you're a trans woman, you're taking estrogen to grow boobs, to grow things that have extra fatty pockets.
Get injections
to get hips. These are natural women curves. So you're not going to have thighs. You're not going to have hips, and you're not going to have breasts, which add weight to us automatically.
Yeah, it just seems like more women just get y'all bodies are completely different than us. We're so different sexually, like as far as men and women. One thing I do want to say, and I wanted to say this earlier, but you talk a lot, is that
I haven't even talked a lot.
No, you fucking.
You can kiss my ass, is what you can do.
I feel like women don't date men for their looks as much as men date women according to their looks.
Bullshit.
I just feel like women will look at the way a dude's character or money is, or and women kind of and men kind of always look and see how pretty she is or how big her butt is, and like those are the attractions. They're different attractions as to what women are attracted to in a man versus what a man is attracted to in a woman.
We have preferences just like
true, but I feel as though men want to be attracted and respected, and women want to be loved and protected.
Men care what other people are going to think who's on their arm, which is why they'll sit here and say they want. Which is why
I do think men are. I think, don't get me wrong, people out there. I think men and women are both very sexual, but I think men just kind of lead with their penises more than women do. So I think that's why the attraction thing, as far as physically, may be more of a big thing for them. Women, I know I want to be loved and protected, but I also do want to be attracted.
I'm shallow as fuck.
But I can find, I can find beauty in all types of different things. So I've dated some guys who I call them the ugly beautifuls. They may be ugly to society people, but I see the beauty within them, and they're beautiful.
That's
to
how I
me.
feel
and see,
about
I guess
Haitian
that
women.
I think that answers his things, because I don't think he would date a ugly beautiful.
No, Haitian women are ugly beautiful.
Can you not? Are you kidding me right now?
I feel like
Are
they're
you
like the
kidding?
ugly ducklings, and they
No,
know how to grow
they
up,
aren't.
and they
Are
become
you
like,
serious right now?
They become like so beautiful when they get older.
No, this is. You're serious?
What?
That was disrespectful.
How?
Have you?
That was like saying all these people from S-hole countries
are ugly.
S-hole.
Which
What's that?
shithole countries.
yeah,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but that's what
I said.
you sound
they
real
become
Trumpish
so
right
beautiful.
now.
Yes.
You sound real Trumpish right now.
What's wrong with say? Listen, I said they're
because you're
beautiful.
calling an entire island of people ugly.
Yeah, that's
I don't know- I don't know those over
I'm not
there.
even gonna lie. So I've been in New York for 5 years. I'm from Florida, from Orlando, and when you meet a black person, they're literally either Jamaican or Haitian. So I grew up with a lot of Zoes and a lot of island women, and Latinos. Is there a large Zoe population up here? I haven't seen them since I've been up here, which
Zoe
might
is
be
Haitian, right?
Yeah, which is
It's fucking ridiculous. They're
That-
gonna kill me if what I said was really that bad.
no, it is. It's
they're
terrible.
Gonna find me
Yeah.
and
you might want to
should
bleep all that
apologize.
shit. You
I'm not
should
doing that. Why? That's how what I believe. I believe that they not all that at first, and then they grow up
That's
and become
no different
these goddesses.
than someone saying, black people kind of look like monkeys when they're born. What you just said is pretty much like yes.
No.
You just said an entire island has ugly women.
Ugly beautiful is not comparing somebody to an animal
No,
that throws shit in a fucking zoo. It's completely two different things.
I'm
Please
not talking about an
don't-
exact animal.
No.
I'm saying the way that they look, which
I
is what
said
you're doing.
They don't look good at first, and then they blossom and become these beautiful women.
You're really sitting by this.
Yes,
and me
I
and
said
her
they're
are
beautiful
telling you
women.
you're wrong.
Neither one of y'all are Haitian. Yo, people
My
just
little
always
sister
offended
is
by
Haitian.
everything.
I'm Jamaican and white, and my little sister is Haitian and white.
Your dad is wild.
My mom, thanks.
She's wild. She is
My mom
wild.
likes island men.
Yeah,
So
she
I
is wild.
definitely think that, you should.
Well, I didn't mean it. I'm not gonna blip it out. I didn't mean to offend people. I mean, I think what I think. I think that they don't look like all that at first, and then they get to be 21, 22, and all of a sudden the chick that you would never pay attention to in junior high school, you're looking at like, yo, she is fucking bad.
And that's only because she's Haitian.
Those are the Haitian. I date mad Haitian women, and that's literally what has been my experience. When they was younger, they wasn't all that, and then they grow up, and you're just looking at them like, yo, she is fucking awesome, and that's just literally my experience all the time. What do you want me to do?
He's scooping
boy.
his old high school situation.
This shit is lit.
Well,
This shit
it's
is
funny
lit.
that because I feel like this is where a
Well,
lot
I
of
make bad
things this is why Tahoe thinks the way he does. I think he's been scarred from being like a lot of times in his past. So I don't know if you listened. He actually came out, and this is why I think we're even having this conversation, because it was funny. I was listening to a story of his, and I was like, this is why he doesn't like big women. So apparently, one of the first big women he dealt with not only broke his bed, her pussy stank. So I feel like that specific incident scarred him. Like the fact that she's, you know, she broke his bed. I think, you know, that kind of, I feel like that's where this distaste for bigger women comes from.
I don't have a distaste for bigger women.
I'm telling you, if you see a therapist, you're going to see. I
will. Look, what happened between Shorty and I, first of all, she took my virginity, and I was very thankful. Okay?
Liris's face.
I was very thankful. And that was great sex. I mean, just because the snatch wasn't all that. I mean, we were young. Maybe she didn't know how to clean. I don't look at all women based on that experience. I don't look at all bigger women based on that experience. And she wasn't huge. She was just a lot bigger than me. And honestly, a lot of the women that are a lot bigger than me, their snatch is very juicy and squishy, and it's nice.
Oh my gosh. He did tell this other story on his Snapchat about a big girl that he was like, wow.
That thing, yo, I've told this. I remember. Did I tell you the story when I went to Virginia?
I wish you could have been able, like, you could save people's snaps
and replay them later.
Oh my God.
I remember. I think you could do it. But when I was in the streets, a friend of mine went out of town. We went out of town with about 3 or 4 girls. I was dating this beautiful chick, and when we got down there, her man was down there, and so. Oh, I was fucking the girl. We wasn't dating. I was fucking her. She'd come by here, whatever. We'd knock it down. She'd move. She'd go off into her life, and I'd never see her again. I didn't know what she was doing. She was just blessing me with box every once in a while. Honestly, I didn't even deserve it, right? So we go down south to Virginia Beach. This is where people used to go. I don't think people go to Virginia Beach no more. But do people still go to Virginia Beach? I've never been. Well, when I was younger,
probably
it was
that young generation maybe does.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're Generation X, right?
Whatever. So we went down there, and she disappeared. She went off with her man, and I was offended because I'm thinking I'm going down there to vacation with my chick and all that. My man got his chick. They all in the room fucking. I'm walking on the beach by myself, walking on the boardwalk by my motherfucking self. One of their friends, it was 4 of them. It was 2 of us. One of their friends was abnormally bigger.
Okay.
Heavier. I don't know the politically correct way to say it.
She was just plus size. Go ahead.
No, she was way bigger than plus size. She was round.
She was a big girl.
She's a big girl.
There you go.
Okay.
We're all in the room. You know, you out on the beach in the sun too long. It's like, yo, let's go back to the room, smoke, whatever, right? We go back to the room, and we're watching television. My friend and his chick, they're on the floor. They're fooling around. You hear them. I'm sitting in the chair. You know, they only got a little lounge chair in the room. The big girl is laying on the bed. My chick is off running around somewhere doing whatever she's doing.
Your chick was the big girl?
No, the pretty one.
Eventually.
The other one.
Okay, yeah.
Eventually,
right?
She was your girl?
Can I finish the story?
I mean, you're taking a long time to get there. Don't lose us here.
We're watching television. We're listening to my friend and Shorty play around on the floor. I look at Shorty. The big girl, she's laying on the bed. I look at her. She kind of looks at me. I kind of looked away like, nah, man, I ain't gonna do that shit, right?
Okay.
My friend and his Shorty went into the bathroom. I looked at Shorty. She looked at me. I swear to God, the next thing I know, she tied her hair back in a motherfucking bun. That's when you know the action is about to go down. She tied her shit back in a bun. She reached over, grabbed my shit, and went to work. Oh, my God. Son, and when I tell you, I beat the brakes off that thing in there. And she took it everywhere. And it wasn't even nothing. She just bloop right back, right in that other place. That bloop right in there. And just rocking. And she was talking to me. She was talking to me like she was soothing me with her voice while she did it. It was amazing. It was so amazing. When we got back to New York, I knocked it down again. I had to.
So you've slept with big women. So why do you seem to talk so terribly about them so many times, especially throughout the course of this So Shameless podcast?
I've only said, and like I said, I've had revelations, and I'm about to address that right now, right? I've only said in the past that I just want y'all to work out, go to the gym, take care of yourselves, shit like that. But I'm going to retract all of that. And the reason why is I've been watching This Is Us. And I don't know if you watch This Is Us.
Everyone keeps
Do
saying
you watch This Is
I
Us?
should probably watch it.
This Is Us is a story.
But Chrissy Metz is the actress.
Right. This Is Us is a story that seems to address almost every social issue I've ever known. It addresses racism. It addresses alcoholism, drug abuse. And one of the things that it addresses is what's the word? Weight. This girl is suffering like her whole life. Ever since she was a kid, she just had a problem with her weight.
Well,
she had a problem
you can
with
get it
people
genetically.
She had a problem with her weight. She had a problem with people judging her. Her parents always pressured her. Her friends, all the skinny little ones, didn't want to be around her because she was the the awkward one. And even as she got older, dating, dudes would fuck with her but wouldn't fuck with her. You know what I mean? And even when a dude did love her, she has this amazing man, and she doesn't let him love her so much because she has all of this built up aggression and pain from being a big woman and fighting
And
that.
probably thinking like, this is a joke, or he doesn't really love me, or when is this going to end, or when is he going to ask me to lose weight, or you know what I mean? And that comes from what she's dealt with probably all her life.
And it really bothered me because I see the innocence in it, and I see my role, right? I'm the dude that looks at you when you're eating in McDonald's.
And say she don't need to be eating that.
Fuck. Yeah. I hate why do I always walk in McDonald's in Popeyes? There's always big people eating. There's always right. I'm the person that judges you for that. I'm the person that doesn't just look at you as a person when we're talking. I'm thinking fat things or whatever. And I'm like, yo, there's not a lot of these people. They can't help it. Like this, a lot of these people. There's not,
especially in the black community. And so you're raised like a lot of black men who shame women of curves. If they look at their moms are probably big hips, big butt, big thighs, like heavier set women. And that goes from, I mean, I'm not going to bring it back to slavery, but even just how we eat growing up, the things we cook, our Sunday dinners.
I mean, look at gentrification now in Brooklyn. You have now all these organic markets, all this other stuff. When before it was McDonald's, Burger King, liquor store, church. You know, you see how it's changing the face of our communities. So if we always grew up in those communities and this is what we were offered, this is what was cheap and affordable and easy, then you're almost predisposed to certain situations.
Well, I was watching John Sally. I'm sorry.
But I'm proud of you for, this is the one thing that for me following you for probably 2 years now on social media, just watching you grow and change. And
you've grown a lot.
Yeah. And just the fact that you could watch a show like This Is Us and now say, you know what? I'm not looking at that person, as a human being, as a person who has maybe gone through certain issues in their life. Maybe they have a thyroid problem. Maybe they were teased at a young age. Because a lot of times people will eat to self-soothe or to build a certain armor. I know a young lady who I was speaking to, she ate a lot because she was sexually abused at a young age. So for her, it was like fat was an armor. So no, now you're not going to find me sexy. Now you're not going, and everybody has their own different issues.
Of course.
But that's what I'm talking about. We have to start to look at people as human beings.
Well, Mandi may have a point. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why
It's probably some way that you grew up. I think also sometimes you have a mindset that is a little dated.
Very dated.
But that's okay because I like to
knew something. I was like, what's she gonna say?
It's a little dated, whether it's in certain dating stuff or maybe how you see the world. But
me and dating is not doing well.
It's okay. Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But I think if you just allow yourself little bit by little to just grow and change and just see people as people, you'll look at it a lot differently. true confession. I remember I used to look at certain people, whether it was like Cat Stacks, like, why is she so ratchet? Why is she out there doing this and doing that? And you would look at certain women and be like, she a hoe. She this, she that.
There are hoes out here. Okay.
But guess what?
There are.
I've learned that a lot of times people are only living out what happened to them. So Cat Stacks, you may call her a hoe, but what has she gone through at home with her parents? What has she gone through
She had like a pimp taking care of her at 16. Like the stuff that you're exposed to.
Right.
And it builds
sexual
you.
assault, abuse, verbal abuse,
growing up in a
emotional
single parent
abuse.
household, not having both parents.
All
Like there's a
types of
ton of
stuff.
things which we
How about having both parents there, but one is distant and always working? You know what I mean?
or one is abusive to the other person. They may think that that's normal.
So is nobody ever guilty of anything because of what happened to them? Is that what we're saying? Like there's no, like there are people out here that are fucked up to other people. Are we now supposed to look at them and be like, all right, I don't care if you're fucked up because I understand that something happened that fucked you up. Like you
can still hold people accountable, right? But my thing is, we should all, if we all had a little bit more compassion, we would treat and look at people so much more differently. I look and treat people so much differently because of the compassion that I want to give them, and that's the same compassion I want them to give me. And because guess what, I ain't been perfect. I've lived a crazy life, but because I've lived that life, now I have more compassion. I'm not going to judge this person for this or judge this person for that, because I know how hard it was for me when I went through this or when I went through that. We just have to give a lot more compassion. You want somebody to give you compassion because of maybe certain situations you went through growing up with your parents.